Back to the kind of haunted house theme that we've been going for recently, and I wanted to talk about The Grudge. Now, this is the American version that was released in 2006, and it's directed by Takashi Shimizu. And the story is about a house where something tragic happened there, and anybody that seems to go to this house seems to become touched by the pain and suffering that happened there, and as a result they become haunted by these hellish visions of some of the people that were involved in those terrible events from the past. And the main character is played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she plays a carer who gets assigned to go to the house and to try and look after an older woman that's there that's supposedly suffering from senile dementia, but we start to realise it's just she's been terrorised by a ghost. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar starts being terrorised by the ghost as well. When you first look at the trailers of this, you'll probably think that it'll be all Sarah Michelle Gellar. It really isn't. It's actually quite an ensemble piece. The film jumps around between different characters quite a lot, and it actually doesn't tell everything in order, in chronological order. It jumps about, and there are parts of the film that you realise you've seen one bit already, and that's actually happening in parallel with what you're watching now. So the film is, well, I had an interesting experience with this movie because I watched this when it came out in the cinema. I went to the cinema to see it. It was a Saturday night, and it was mobbed. It was so busy, packed. And it was one of those ones where I think the atmosphere is probably the best atmosphere I've had in a cinema for a horror film. It was just so, the atmosphere was electric before the film even came on. I don't know why. I think it was just one of those nights where everything clicked, everything was right. And I think we could have watched a really pretty rubbish horror film, to be honest, and we would have all still got caught up on it. There were a lot of gasps and a lot, people screaming, but just not enough to annoy you, but just enough to keep the atmosphere going on in the cinema. And it was, I found the film, I didn't know much about it when I went to see it, and I found the film genuinely frightening the first time I saw it. Now, I then went to see it again at the cinema because I had such a good time watching it. And I took my girlfriend and one of my friends and his girlfriend to see the film, and I told them it wasn't scary. I lied to them. It was really funny. The opening scene that's quite, the second scene in the film, which is really quite frightening when this woman goes into an attic. I was just waiting for it to turn around and look at their faces, and they were all terrible like that, looking at me like you're an arsehole, Michael. So the funny thing about it is I've watched it since, and every time I watch it I get a different experience with it. Sometimes I watch it and I don't find it frightening at all. I find it too Hollywood almost, and then other times I watch it and I still find it genuinely creepy. I think all in all, I think I overestimated the film when I first saw it. Sometimes that happens, you get caught up in something. I mean, most people came out of The Phantom Menace thinking they liked it, and then they realised, oh, wait a minute. So I think I thought this was an amazingly good horror film when I first saw it. But you know what, it is good. It's a solid horror film. The problem with it is that at times, especially towards the end of the film, it tries to cash in on The Ring, which is another film this was actually a remake of a Japanese film called Ju-on, and this there was a sort of trend at the time to remake Japanese horror films like The Ring, and then other Asian films like Dark Water and things like that. And The Grudge was one of them. I have to say, I'll need to watch the original ones. I haven't actually watched them, but I really did enjoy this. I thought it was good. It's just that it relied a little bit too much on cashing in The Ring towards the end of the film. I felt it used some of the imagery from the Ring as well. Anyway, but it's really worth it, and get some popcorn, sit down, turn off the lights, and you might get creeped out, you might get scared. I hope you do, because that's what horror films are for. But I would definitely recommend it. It's not amazing, but it's good, solid haunted house horror film. Check it out.